What's going on YouTube? It's going to be coming to you from Pinku Style Garage and everything. Got my guy Lexis King here. We've been actually chopping it up for about 30 minutes before this. We're waiting on the guest to come in. And I'll say his name if he comes on. Don't want to, because we'll have him on eventually. But anyway, man, we just been chopping it up, man. We talking about Top Gun, the new updates offline. If you guys ain't seen my video, I broke my collarbone on before 1.15 patch. So, hopefully I'll be good for the next update, like 1.17 or some shit like that. Well, that's probably too quick. So they seem like they rolling out the updates pretty quickly, man. What's been going on, Lex? And again,
big busyness. I think, matter of fact, there's the transmission right over here behind me. Was out, white cars back on the road, feeling great. I was out there with some ball tires. Thought I was being conservative, and I went out on a run. Matter of fact, I had Mike out there finally to drive with.
Oh yeah,
and I were doing some tandems, and I broke my transmission on the last run. So I just picked up a transmission. It was caked in oil, degreased it, cleaned it, pulled the service door off, and other little inspection windows. So I've been busy today. My hands, no matter how many times I've washed them, still fucking smell like gear oil, and I hate it.
Yeah. Gear oil is like one of those. Yeah, not a cool.
It's one of those things, yo.
Yeah.
Make as a prank like a gear oil scented one of them little trees.
Yeah.
Little fucking squash bowls. Make a gear oil scented one. And the second you peel it out of the wrapper and take the lid off.
Nah, man, that shit. When you get gear oil on you ever get gear oil on a pair of shirt or whatever, and then you wash. Yeah, but then you wash. I'm saying if you wash it by mistake, and then
it gets worse.
That and everything else in there.
Everything stinks.
Yeah, You got to throw all that shit away. That's just like you not only wash it, then when you dry it, it's like that shit permanent, and it's like
it's bad.
Yeah, the gear oil is not cool, man. Like gasoline, I don't really. It kind of got a somewhat of a cool smell. You're not supposed to smell that shit.
Yeah.
But like gear oil is like, nah, man. It should smell like hot sausages or something.
Bro, it's like, bad. I can't explain that. I cannot explain that smell. I've washed my hands probably 12 times today, and it still hasn't gone away. But that's clean and done, ready to go in. But I got track day tomorrow. I was gonna get that done and throw that in the car this afternoon, then drive up there. But I'm like, you know what, man? It's Memorial Day weekend. I haven't had a chill, relaxed weekend in a long time. I just cleaned the transmission, set it in here. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm gonna go up to the track. I'm an instructor at this event, guided pilot. So we do like tailored instructional information. I don't like you. I think we've talked about this before. Right. I don't like jumping in cars with newbies.
Right.
You never know. Something strange could happen.
Right.
But because I was a spotter and I give detailed information, very quick, concise, to the point. And like I said, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is my son. I don't ride with my son. I let him go drift, and he knocks it out the park. So I kind of tailor my style to that. They come in, they talk to me. I tell them what I'd like them to do, what they've been doing, and what I want to see them do. They go out and then progress better and better, and we hold a little mock competition at the end. So I got that tomorrow. And then Monday, we're off. I want to head to the kart track and ride the R3. It's been a minute since I jumped the R3 around that kart track. But yeah, that was the latest vlog right there. She's back in action, baby. Like, that's the run that broke it.
Man, you know what's funny? What's the run? Is that the run with the engine? Is it the same video? Okay. I was like, I thought you like, man, you broke the shit in the same spot as the engine let out. I was like, fuck, man.
Oh yeah. No. Run. I got the frame pulled back after that incident with the GTOs, and we never loosened up the intercooler piping. So when they pulled the frame back, the intercooler piping got out of alignment, and he's showing you right there. It was just held by the coupler.
Oh.
But yeah, that inlet sucked in everything. All of my irons and everything was pretty as shit. We just lightly lapped, put in new seals, new everything. It had just cracked just a little corner of the apex seal, but it passed. It went in and out, and it didn't damage anything else. So real simple rebuild. He threw it back together first start. The timing was just a little off. That's really all he had to do. Put it back together, time it, and we went back out and we drove it. So Car drove fine, ripped fine. He was nervous about it because JTP's like really, you know, he calling him, yo, you got what's your specs, what's your tolerances, what you doing, how you doing it. So Jeff was kind of nervous about like, oh shit, I hope the car don't leak. I hope it don't do nothing. This is the video he sent me, the text message he sent me when it was done. I was like, oh, this fool. And it's hilarious because ironically my transmission breaks.
And that right here?
Oh, not right
okay,
there.
Okay.
That was the last time he drove it, and then we popped straight to the track, and then I drive it and I break the transmission. But I know for sure it was just time. I've been on transmission since 2013.
Yeah,
I've been on that.
That thing definitely did its time, man.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, there was some massive clutch drops and stuff that happened to it many times, but now it's back fresh and crisp and with the engine, and I just was applying some power and it popped second. And this right here, Jalen wanted to drive. I'm like, you do everything beginning to end. You load it, you prep it, you secure it on the trailer, clean it up, and he did everything but drive the truck to the track. So it was really fucking cool because, once you know how it is, once you go through the process of everything together, you don't forget that process.
Yeah. Then it's the same. Then it like is a different appreciation too. Like, now physically seeing you do it and then like him doing it himself, it's a big thing, man. Like a lot of people like it's one of those things, man. You can prep, but it's like still like always, and like you always kind of forget some shit sometimes. But I generally have a system where I have cases, so I don't. So I actually don't take the stuff out and unpack it every time. I got a separate set of like fluids and solvents and even tools. I got I got like the major one, so I don't want to take shit from out my regular tool case and lose that socket somewhere and shit. So I got separate sockets just for like the big shit. You don't really need like a big if you gotta do an axle, what the axle nut size is, or other than that, I tell myself like, I mean, if it's past the point of that, then it's heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, that's how my truck is. Everything that I need in the field
and other people
is on
too.
that. Yeah, if I break anything that I cannot use my field tools with, sorry for you. We'll get it to the house. I'll fix it at the house. But yeah, this is Jalen driving from his first run out. He only time he spun and he didn't spin because Jeff was riding with him. Jeff got nervous because how I told Jalen where those gaps are on the wall, on the K-rail, don't drift in that pocket. And he was just having fun gliding through, and he went into that area and he was getting ready to transition and shut it down because I told him make the transition smooth and then shut it down after that. Don't go into that pocket drifting. Jeff got scared and he was riding past you, pulled the handbrake on him. So that was the time that he went around. Other than that, the kid was just ripping, shredding. I let him do his thing. And then after he got out of that pocket, then he got back to drifting again. So,
who's that Fox body over there? Is that the one dude? Okay.
That's Mike. In his white Fox body, Turbo Fox. It was funny as hell because that car.
No, I seen a red one. It was a red one over there too.
Oh, there was other dudes. Yeah,
Okay.
It was a lot of other dudes there. This is the first run, and Jeff was literally like, I'm barely using pedal or anything. Jeff's trying to look. It's funny at the end. You see him look at me, and he's like, well, how is it? I'm like, oh, it's fine. He was like super nervous.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, how does it feel? Does it feel like you remember? I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's good. Look, he's like, well, how is it? I'm like, oh, it's all right. But yeah, the car's fine, and I was half pedaling it. It's funny, Mike's Fox body's turboed and everything, and it's fast, but when you're drifting, it's different. And he was like, I can't keep up with those RX-7s. He's like, those motherfuckers are fast as shit. And I'm like, well, they're purpose-built drift cars, dude. It's like, people think that an on-the-road fast car is fast at drifting, and that may not be the case, And my tires are bald there. They're actually slick bald past the wear bars. So it ain't the grip, it's just, how the cars maneuver. Even with tires that are well spent, you can still accelerate pretty good. So it was a cool day of drifting. So I'm happy to just be jumping back in the mix. And like I said, with the vert, right? The vert has always been drivable. I just haven't been driving it because to me that's for Jalen. That's his thing now. Jeff currently has the vert, doing a new E-fan on it, a couple other little small things on the vert to make it like doable for hot lapping. When we get it back, Jalen's that Thrash Racing seats going in it, new wheel, adjusting position for him, new suspension. Then we're gonna take it over to Dev Speed, and we're gonna do an alignment on the car and just let him shred. I plan to make him drive, and then I'm gonna start putting it on his doors. So pretty soon, I don't want it to even be, because Nakamura's son drives.
I didn't know I didn't know he had a son.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know Naoki had a let alone a teenage kid. But yeah, it's like, dude, F this. All these soft motherfuckers here in America. Oh my God, the kid's 13 driving. Man, so fucking what? Some of your 80-year-old grandmamas shouldn't be driving, but they do. Like, people think age qualifies things. It does not. Talent qualifies.
Like the dude, like the one guy, like Shinji's son is 12, beat Daigo. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Daigo, like I said, people's like, Daigo was just out there having fun and just sent it too hard in the rain. Then you got the other kid from this area now. He's 22 now. No shit. I was there for his very first figure eight. This was like 4.5 years ago. First time doing figure eight training, and now they just went 1 and 2 in at that FD the other week and everything, and it's like he's 22. Demonstnori is 28, 29, D1 GP champ already.
I'm telling you, I'm tired of stifling my son, hiding that he drives, hiding that he's actually good. It's to me, because he's been driving. To me, it's been slowing his process down. Right. It's not been allowing him to flourish, because we go to these tracks and I'm like, oh, they ain't looking. Here, go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he goes down the track and he'll think about it. The kid will rush out there, full anxiety, rush, do like 2-3 laps real quick,
that's not
and then try to bring it in. Man, fuck that. It's to the point I'm like, yo, if we get in trouble, if I get in trouble, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Go drive. It's on you.
So what's the
16
consent? 16.
Yep.
Okay. And then he got it. So 16 with consent.
Yeah, 16 with consent or driver's license. They can go on their own. But the thing is, it's like, dude, my kid's been driving, and I look at people that have the money, like Matt Mike. He's got the facility and the money.
You don't need to ask nobody.
He don't need to ask nobody. His kid 13, and you know what the crazy part is about America, though? You can't drive anywhere if you're underage. No, you can't drive nowhere if you're underage. But if the kid can drive, and he drives really good, and he does kart shit, he can go into a racing series.
Yeah. And they consider him off-road, though, the off-road stuff, but still it's the same.
Off-road,
it's still cognitive reasoning needed.
Right, but they won't allow a kid to show up to a track day and drive with his parent. How do you think these kids are getting shit, right? How do you think they're gonna be able to do things? They can do the stuff because their thought process works so like Jalen driving. You saw him driving. He was nervous as shit the whole time. I had him do 10 laps back to back to back. His first 3 laps, he was nervous, like the jitters, legs shaking, because just first time driving around people.
Right.
There are people behind him. There are people in front of him.
Noise, vibration.
all the you know,
Yeah.
all the excitement. It's
Yeah.
been a minute. He drove the Vert. He drove the RX-8.
And
All of the shit. His girlfriend was there, and I'm telling him, don't fucking show off.
yeah.
Don't show off, bro. Like this is our drive time. I allowed you to bring her here. We made it accommodating, but don't waste this time.
Mm.
And the kid there did his thing after the first 3 runs. And he got the nervousness out. Then this little motherfucker's pulling up like, you know how they do Nakamura and them, and everybody's coming through, and they're like making the throttle sing and shit. He brapping the throttle. He's coming through like the kid got his swagger on. He gets to the line. Take off, go boom, boom. And once he got his nervousness out, boy, he was fucking chucking. Like he'd go through yerp, and the car is like pitch and angle, like people were tagging me, and I'm laughing like that's not me though.
Yeah.
That's my little boy, yo.
Yeah.
And they're like, swear to God, he drives that smooth.
Yeah.
And see, that's why I'm like, that's what said it. That settled it in my head. I'm over it. We're not hiding this no more, bro. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we get in trouble, we're just going to have to get in trouble, dog. And we're hitting up people before we show up to events. Hey, I'm coming. My son is going to drive. They say, okay, we're there. Even if I do show up and it ain't no, they say, okay, we're pulling up in my cars. They're just going to not realize that it's not me in the car. You know what I mean? And we're going from there because, like I said, I feel like we're stifling his progression. He could have been on everybody else's level because
For sure.
we have the cars to do it. You know, he could drive any of my cars. But it's just because we've been trying to play with the rules, but everybody else everybody else breaks the rules. But we've been following the rules and playing the rules. Now it's like, man, fuck this shit. You're 15. Okay, we only and that's the point, right? He's been 13. We could have been doing this. He's been driving like this since 13. Now he's 15. He's a year away. He can get his permit and shit this year. He's a year away from the actual license, right? So we played the game so long. Now it's like, now it's kind of going to be running a mill instead of an exceptional thing. But he has the talent. He does exceptionally well because he was on the sim rig the night before, killing it. And I was looking like I'm sitting on GT7 and he was over there on the other rig, and I'm like, Mans is over here doing work. Like I'm looking at how he's chucking it, and you know, you see the chuck and the thought mentality. He chuck it, hold the clutch, he's on the handbrake, he lets off, and his timing was right on. Boop, bop, and I'm like, damn, he's doing work. So when we went to the track, I wasn't surprised. It was funny. That was the first time his mama got to see him drive, first time his girl got to see him drive. His cousins were there, like my niece, and she just got married. Her husband was there, so he got to see everybody that he's around day, you know, Monday through Friday. When he gets out of school and he's down at his granny's house, everybody got to see him. And so I was like, I know the managing your excitement is there, but this is car shit. This is a whole different responsibility. You do not let no outside anything change your experience or your nerves. So it was actually good training for me. But yeah, we going for it this year. I got some shit lined up for him that I haven't announced, or I haven't even told him.
Right.
But yeah, we're going for it. There's gonna be cool shit happening this year, and you know, I've been documenting it the whole time. The vlog is the place for that. But I'm going to put us tandem head up here on the map very, very soon.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward. Looking forward to it, man. It's like one of those things too, man. It's again, like it was just saying, like before the thing, man. Just getting started, and not that y'all getting started is just it is that issue where, like, you know, some people got like tracks, private shit like that and stuff like that where they don't gotta ask. Like, look at the who's the I keep calling them kids, they're not kids, the Sorensens or whatever. Like they didn't.
But big.
Yeah,
money, track, all the other shit.
Yeah, and it's like so for me, I'm gonna get them into the they already got well, 2 of the carts are mine, and they got their own carts already. So I just gotta so what I'm gonna do is I was gonna fix the gas engines, but I'm gonna get ahead of the game. I'm actually gonna convert those e-carts.
EVs, yeah.
So because they're you know what I mean, I don't have to worry about fucking mixing fuel and and I just gotta charge them up. So and nobody, and I'll be the only one in this area. So I'm using them little motherfuckers as marketing tools,
Right.
make me my money back.
Right.
I see all it guys takes is one parent to see that shit. Like, oh, I want one. Like, I can make it happen. And I was telling my wife, man, like I was talking to her. She was like, "Why do you seem like she's starting to realize I'm not just working on cars to make money." I'm like, dude, you gotta have multiple sources of income, as many as you can manage, without branding the can on both ends and shit. And some sources of income come easier. So essentially, I can take a cart and I can assemble 2 to 3 of them bitches in a day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get them all set up. Once you get the first one done and work through all the routing and mounting and all that stuff, then you make your mounts and plates, and then the next one, after that is all is easy. So saying it to say, motherfuckers be watching enough or whatever. You want to take my idea or whatever, but you're not in Japan, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
It's definitely some shit that like you said, some stuff we got to keep off the record because we don't know who watching. But yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and it's going to be dope. And it's going to be it ain't never a video like that don't get a bunch of views. Like Tommy and his daughter's flying, then Mike and his son doing their thing. Like that's just some wholesome shit that every dad out there wants to do with their kids, man. And you're doing it on bikes, cars, and whatever else they want to do.
Yeah. Man. But it's the mentality molding, right? The talent is its own thing. The talent is gonna grow. It's gonna fester. It's gonna do its own thing. The more you ride, the more you drive. That's awesome. But it's the mentality. The mentality is to keep him safe doing all this. The mentality is to be able to make the right decisions, the proper decisions when things arise.
Right.
For him not to be shocked, scared, or intimidated in any of the environments that he'll be in.
Yep. Stuff like that when you get up to you get that, because even like now, man, as experienced drivers and shit. Well, I think we're better than that. But you get there to the track and the smells, and then you just see a motherfucker. As soon as you got the car, it's like, Brrr! He's like, oh fuck, this is yeah.
Like that vlog. Right after those test runs with Jeff, I was gonna go make another pass, and this dude in this Miata was in front of me, and he was like, the guy in the Miata's like, tandems, right? And the event that we were at, they kind of had this line. It's called the outlaw line, where if you jump in that line, you don't choose who goes with you. Whoever goes. Right. There is no, hey, don't drive with me. I'm doing a solo run, and I didn't know which lane that was. So I was like, you know what? I kind of don't care. I'm out here. People are excited to see me in the car. I rarely pop out at that specific event. And so, cool. This guy don't go to Sonoma, or he don't go to Thunder Hill, or he don't go to these other events. He doesn't get invites to or whatever. I'll drive with him, whatever. And so I say it to Jeff. I said, this dude might spin.
Yeah.
So I'm not finna door him on entry, but we'll just see what it is. Dude, as soon as we get out there, I let him hit the transition. I gave him a gap. Then I went to go close in on him, and I could see his front wheels just went full understeer. I said, I started adjusting for the shit to happen right there. I'm starting to stomp on the brakes. Dude over rotates, and then he goes into counter steer, and because the car was out of power, it gripped up and basically turned left. But it was just like 2 feet from impact and anyway, and I looked at Jeff like, see, I knew it was gonna happen. So I was like, I'm not even gonna get on his door. We go through 2 more turns, and dude spun again, like in the high speed exit of the turn. I just found him, so I was like, yeah.
Well, these are my bad. Like I'm talking to Kurt and them right now, trying to get Andy. But was these like group? Sorry, bad. The groups, or was it just like open type of joint?
It's kind of open, so you can go in. How they had it broke up in solos, tandems, group tandems, where you just group up with your friends. Like us 4, we're gonna go. You just you do the world recognized symbol of your people in your group. Everybody hold their hand out the window and then they go. Then you got the outlaw group where you just line up in that line and free for all.
Mm.
Whoever comes, say go, they all go. So you kind of got to watch yourself, watch out for yourself. Driver in front of you, the driver behind you. It's a real heads up type of thing.
Yeah.
So I find that was, and I was just like, I don't care, whoever goes goes.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm,
and
I'm, I'm,
I
no, go ahead.
I said to myself, I said, this Miata's probably going to spin. And and he did it 2 times in the run. And just a heads up. And those are things that I'm preparing Jalen for, to make those decisions. Watch everybody, because you never know who you'll line up with or who's going to want to drive with you. And it's not for you to, you don't have to go out and put a mayhem run on everybody's door on every run.
Right.
Here and get 2 cars from them and coast through and then close up on them on certain places, but you're judging their car movements on how you're gonna move, and that's the mentality that I'm getting him to understand. We stand there and we'll watch people drive for like an hour, and when somebody makes a mistake, I look at him and he instantly knows the guy did this and that, and that's why.
Yep.
I was like, and that was a result of right here. He started that bad right here, and then that made that happen back there, which made the spin happen. He'd be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So
it's always cool when you do that to somebody and they'll see well, you'll say, hey man, check this out, man. What's gonna happen? And then when you call it and it happens, he look at you like, did you fucking nah, dude. I seen a lap ago where the dude was like pushing. It was a 3-car tandem, like his last event. And I was telling the guy like they barely made it out of this one. And this guy keeps trying to like, there was like they were like a team. And he was trying to do like a poor man version when they swap, over. Yeah. I'm like, bro, none of y'all ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? None of y'all. And he kept trying to force it. Like he was trying to overtake from the back to the front. I'm like, what are you doing? And he did the same thing, and he went around, and then the motherfucker looped all the way around, spun. He overtook him, but he fucking spun out in front of he spun. It looked cool as fuck if he would have missed it, but he spun all the way in front of the lead car, T-boned him. Like he spun he did a C shape. He did a C drift all the way around and then spun, and the lead car was just getting gripped and it shot right into his door. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, and it's like, yeah, people see that shit. Then nobody was fucking dropping around him because of that. He was like, and it was a Z with it was like a obnoxious VQ.
Oh god, yeah.
And then it was Lord, so he got stuck. He actually the car was so low, he ran into the infield and got stuck on patches of grass, couldn't move.
I centered. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's funny. People were watching me drive, and because I kept driving with Mike and Jeff, it was funny because this dude messaged me and was like, yo, I wanted to drive with you, but I know you only drive with selected people. And I was like, no, I don't drive with everybody, but nobody was jumping in the mix. Because this one dude, Joe Freeman, he pulled up beside us in the next lane, and he looked at me and said, yo, I want to run lead, you run second, and then the rest of your boys, they run. I was like, okay, cool. But just these guys were watching, and I guess they felt like I only wanted to drive.
Right.
Like, no, that's not the case. That's not the case. Just and like I told the dude, it's like when I'm there, come on. I watch everybody. So if I don't want to drive with you, it's not that I won't take off with you. I'll just give you space.
Right.
I'm gonna take off with you. I'm just not gonna be on your door. So if I do feel super comfortable, then we're running out the gates. You know what I mean? And I told dude, just come on, just don't worry about that. Like, people got a perception of me sometimes.
Yeah.
No, it is what it is. But when they talk to me, understand. Oh yeah, nah, he's cool.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, it's all good. I'll drive with anybody. If you say you want to drive, come on. I've watched everybody that's lined up drive. When I'm not driving, I think I be in my own world. Nah, I still keep my eyes on the track. and I could be talking to my wife or doing something for my daughter, and I'm still watching everybody drive. So dude was like, oh, okay, all good. So it's cool like that, because then I get more people to drive with, because this dude might buy me something different I've never dealt with. Like, he's driven in this rough area, this rural ass skid pad for a while. He might have super aggressive, wild style or something that I've never driven with, and it's always good case study for me, because it's like, all right, let me see how that happens, and then watch laps, chase right behind him 2 laps, and be like, okay, he shows some consistency and he keeps doing this. I want to pop in on him and do this at this point, and go do it. So yeah, everybody is a test per se, and that's why everybody was laughing when they saw Jalen drive. They're like, that's insane. There's one dude I want to go, like, no, leave him be. I let him go out there during staff time, where there wasn't many tandems, because it was people driving, staff people driving. There was just people all over. VIPs, like invited people, were driving, so they got their own time while everybody was down for lunch. So it was about 20 cars just kind of in the mix going around or whatever. And people were like, oh man, I should go tandem. Well, no, you don't, because if anybody gonna go tandem with him, I'm gonna go jump in my car and pull up behind him. But it's just like, I'm in him to do his thing, to go underway, get under speed, and just have some freedom and smile and laugh. That kid was so fucking hype when I told him to go put the car up, because I know it was getting a little warm. It was like 95 degrees. And after 10 laps back to back to back, he came jumping for joy. Fucking, it was a dope feeling. Me and my other homeboy, he was looking at that video and he said, yo, that shit made me smile. Yo, he's like, I remember when you put the car together. I remember when the kid was born, and I'm seeing both of those things, like, doing it. Like,
yeah, man, it's too dope, man. Because again, man, so many people don't get the opportunity. One, right. And number two is just like a lot of guys man, it's everybody. Again, we speak on the podcast before, man. Everybody got stuff going on, and it's easy, man. It's so easy to be like, yeah, we'll get to it. We talked about offline, Texas joint. Don't want to really dwell on that too much, but how many people there had plans for next week, plans for later this summer, family vacations? That's never going to happen.
I know. Look, what Ray Liotta did. Ray Liotta's filming a movie, or was filming a movie. In his hotel, went to sleep, died.
Yep.
So it's like, bro, yo, fuck this. That's what I'm saying. I'm tired of waiting. I'm not waiting when I fuck this shit, because y'all don't know what's going on. Everything might get real weird.
Yeah.
I ain't doing this shit. My homeboy, he sent me a photo. His daughter, she's around him. He's a car guy. So his daughter's a car guy. It's a car family.
Right.
Video inspired me. Yo, fuck that. He sent me a photo. He said, I just bought this for my daughter. I think she's like 12 or 13. He bought her an E36. I'm like, bro. I said, just imagine, bro. Just imagine. We all go to I said, just imagine us sitting up on top of the hill with the easy up.
Kick
we
back.
Just got a cooler full of beverages, and we kick back, and our kids are running motherfuckers on the track. Yeah. I was like, just bro. Like, we can go down, get in our cars, and go.
Yeah. It's like, who's that in the car? Like, that's our kid. That's our kids.
Like, they'll be like, when y'all gonna drive? Y'all coming down? Be like, man, we watching the kids, yo. We chilling. We up here.
Yeah, dude. It's even like, we had the sports day yesterday. I posted it up, and it's, sports day is not like it's a group. It's not like a single event, but it's like, obviously they put kid, like, you can see when they do like the relay shit, they know who's fast. They did the practice day, and they group all of the groups based on, like, to make it somewhat competition. So they'll put like the really fast kid at the end, and then he'll catch the motherfuckers. Like, yeah, we knew he was fast, so we put him in the front. It would be really offset. So but it's cool even still to see your kid, like, win a race or whatever. Is this one of those things, man? Like, a lot of parents, unfortunately, and their fault kind of for not really investing into the kid to see him do cool shit. Some kids take that and go on. They see other kids doing cool shit, and they go on to forge their own way and make it happen by just using that fire of not being supported by their parents and everything, man. So this is cool to see your kid do well, man. It's like your offspring, so it's like you want to. I think it's a natural thing to want to see your kid do well. So when they do some cool shit, it's like, yeah, man, that's a proud feeling, man. Like it's hard to explain, and I guess as the stakes get higher, then you look at kids winning, growing up to go be Olympians and then fucking NBA champs and then UFC champs or whatever. It's like that's my fucking.
Daniel Curry watching his.
Oh
son
yeah. That gotta be cool, dude. Yeah.
Knows that he was a good shooter.
Yeah, but he's superseding him.
Yeah, he wasn't the best. He was just a good shooter, a good role player. His son that came to practice with him all the time, that just wanted to shoot around all the time as a little kid, that was just around during greatness, is now the greatest shooter. Think about this. Every time Steph Curry lets go of the ball now, after he got the record, every single time he's resetting the world record. He's resetting every single time he makes a three-pointer. All season since he got the record set, every single time he lets that ball go, it's history being reset. He's going back to the finals again. They just did it the last time a team went back to the finals. This is going to be their 6th appearance in 8 years. That was the Bulls. Before that, it was like in the 70s. And so he's doing something that a group of dudes, because there's not that many people on the basketball team. It's not like football, right? Only a group of dudes, like 15 humans, that have done this before them multiple times, right? Decades ago, and now they're doing it again. So just imagine being Dale Curry chilling like, that's my boy. Like, have you paid attention to Gary Payton II, Gary GP2?
No, honestly, I don't follow basketball too much anymore, man. But he got a son in college or something, or
was a G League. Fucking get to the G League, tries to go to the NBA, get dropped. Go back to the G League on another team, get signed, then waived. So he's always had this back and forth G League, NBA, G League, NBA, G League, NBA. And he finally found his way to the Warriors on a 10-day contract. A 10-day contract, not guaranteed. This is no fool. We literally just need a role player in here real quick because we're developing the young guys like Jordan Poole and all these other dudes on the young boys when Clay was out. They contract. Gary Payton II, because Gary Payton's from Oakland, G around other areas, and he went to Oregon State. He got to Oakland, is like, this is where my cousins are at. This is where my dad's from. This is where my family's at. He was only on a 10-day contract. That boy went out there, steal after steal, dunk after dunk, and became an electrifying individual. Like, oh, shit.
Take advantage of the situation, man.
He started on a 10-day contract. We got a little extension because they was like, yo, cuz balling, check him out. Then Steve Kerr start bringing him off the bench. Come here, GP. Come here. Go in there and get that fucking ball for me. And he's going crazy. And not only is he going crazy, stealing the ball, playing crazy defense, throwing alley-oops, crazy court awareness.
I got to check out some highlights because Seattle was one of my champion at their whole junk was one of my. Yeah, I got to check that out.
Oh, but it got to the point he got a guaranteed contract from a 10-dayer. It was all. G League NBA. Now he got a home, and guess where he's at now? The fucking finals. And he's been a role player on defense. He's inspired everybody to step up their D. All this shit. They fucking injured him. I forgot who they're playing. They're playing Memphis. Memphis Grizzlies injured him. He got a fracture in his elbow, so he's not gonna be able to play. But he was a big reason for the life, the energy, the spirit,
right,
and the gameplay that got them there now. So he got the chance to be that underdog, temporary dude, literally an extra board man, to being a role player a name in the NBA, uh, a draw, like he's a crowd draw. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves the name. Since they called Gary Payton the glove, they were calling him the mitten. And he's like,
The mitten.
I'm not doing anything less than what my dad did.
Yeah.
They're like, you right, you little glove. Okay, I'll take little glove. So he's the little glove. His highlight reel is crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Dunking on people left and right, bah! And even he's dunking on dudes, he's looking them dead in the face like a bulldog scratching his head, like, damn, that was ugly. I just did you crazy.
Yeah.
It's like amazing to see that and be, a role player. So again,
Was he? Is he a small forward?
Yeah, he's a small little dude. I think he's a guard.
Guard. Okay.
Little dude, right? 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", something like that. But he's jumping up with the best of them. Blam! And it's like. It's funny because you got these two fathers on this world championship team. This one father, his son is the face of the league, the best shooter on the history of Earth, the biggest drive of this franchise. He owns the town. Then you got this other dude whose son has not had it easy. He's had gritty, grimy, had to fucking crawl from the trenches and prove his worth. He happened to find his way because everybody swear the Warriors get assembled. The Warriors don't get assembled. The Warriors be a team where somebody comes and they say, yeah, you got opportunity to go ahead and do your thing. Show me that you're worth something. It ain't like the Lakers where it's like, yo, I got money. I want this guy. Bring him here.
Power team, yeah.
Now, this is an organic. You get here. You like it, you like the culture, you do amazing, and we keep you. And that's just how it is. So you got Gary Payton sitting there like, my son is becoming there's a possibility that my son's gonna be a NBA champion, and he put in that work. And it's the coolest thing on dad mode when you sit and look at these kids of these dads that were notable, and it's like, damn, they're doing work. And so when my son is out here doing this shit, riding the motorcycles, like we went riding earlier, Nicole's been hollering at me about getting the Zuma back. So we got the Zuma back. So Nicole's riding the Zuma, Jalen's riding his bike. And so I'm just sitting on the back with Nicole and she's mobbing. I know people go, oh my God, you guys don't have no... with a little girl. Yup. Hey, show the fuck am. And I'm just sitting back mobbing and I'm filming Nicole riding and Jalen's riding beside. It's just like, yo, this is the life, yo. Yeah. I can't express how good shit is when I'm just kicking it. And I do what I want to do when I feel like doing it. But my kids are doing it too. And I'm just there to be supervisor. Hey, Nicole, slow down. Nicole, speed up. Nicole, use the brakes, just a little bit of the back brake, and now use the front brake. Okay, we're slowing down. Cool. Let off both of those. Okay, coast. All right, now accelerate. And Jalen just over here just mashing.
yeah. He on his Jalen's on like his international A license right now. It's like.
Yeah, and it's dope, dude. I love that. I love the vibe. This shit is like cool as hell to me. So, yeah, I just know, like when I was watching your kids, the power band video, and they're mobbing around, and I'm like,
I didn't actually get a video when he first hit it because it just kind of sudden like fuck, because I kind of been not recording as much because like it started getting redundant, and I put like so. They're actually, the videos are not like only like two to three sessions apart, but you can see their man. What you were saying though about the power band?
Yeah, just watching them ride, it's just like they're riding in sand, which one of the harder elements to ride in.
Yeah.
And they just ride, going around and. It's as kids, it does not matter if they're falling. It's not
right.
Not about them going fast. It's not about them not falling. It's just like this is a tough element for anybody to ride and turn handlebars in and trying to lean. You're gonna wash it out.
Yeah.
There's a surface that goes away from you.
But they started learning because that's what I noticed. Where they were riding because it was weird that it was like really sandy, and then as you get closer to the water, when the water wash up and it makes it hard, it's like hard. So I was like stay over here, and then they started like going extending there, so I just let them like run. They had a big.
Yeah,
It's a big. I mean, dude, it's about I would say the spot we were at, because there's a small section. It's probably about I'll say about 90 yards, 90 to 100 yards long, and it was probably about maybe width from the sand to like the shore where the water wasn't. It's probably about 75 feet wide, or 75 yards wide. So they had a shit ton of space, but they started going towards the beach, and then like it was too thick, and they would just like topple over. But then I was like, all right, well, kept saying stop and come over here because I wanted them to just ride, and then I was like, all right, well, let them go over there. So they just started powering, they started throttling more, and also I took the restrictors fully off, so they could
gotcha.
Yeah, because where the restrictors were set, it would just be they would bog it too much. So any little throttle they give, it would. So when they got on the flat ground, and my one son hit it, his head like flew back and shit. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, I was like, hey, they gonna learn today, man. So it was like, but you know, that's just crazy because that 50, believe it or not, man, I'm 255 pounds. I can ride that bike. I can.
Yeah, get up and go.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to.
Yeah. That's. I think you just got shifter. That's really This thing it goes 43 miles an hour with me and Nicole, and I ain't no little boy.
Yeah. So I'm standing on the pegs. I'm like, it's like, it like go up and shit. Then I'm fucking around and I like did a little wheelie. I was like, man, let me chill the fuck up before I bend his rim. So I like popped it up. Yeah. And I'm riding like a little wheelie on this 50 and shit, man. But yeah, it's like, dude, I'm 250 and then move me. I can imagine what the 50 feel like to them, where they're like, what?
Yeah.
55 pounds.
Yeah, that thing feel like a full 125.
Yeah. So he hit that bitch, his neck snapped back. I was like, oh yeah. So I gotta get him some. But yeah, man, I'm already. The 50s are cool, but I'm kind of getting tired of working on them already. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they got this one Suzuki is like a DRZ 50, something like that, and it's just new. So I mean, you don't have to. You know, they just ride. So
it's a 4-stroke.
Yeah, I think they're 4 strokes. Yeah, I think it. I got.
DRZ 50. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah,
so the
internet.
Yeah. It would be cool if it was those
I think it's a DRZ or DRZ.
Those PW. Yeah. They have the oil.
I took that shit out already.
Oh, you took it out?
That was the first thing because I mixed the fuel pretty much like 40 to 1. But yeah, I took that out. That was the first thing I deleted, and that was there you go right there. Here it is.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, 2019.
Then I was like, because I was gonna like really just throw the catalog at the PW50s. I'm like, man, they already like actually my oldest is getting already. He's growing.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're 4 strokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, then you just straight fuel, straight gas and everything. But they look cool and they're newer, so they got a lot of new support. Because the 50. One thing, man, is the plastics I bought. Man, everybody's doing that fucking Alibaba shit, man. I went to this, PW store, whatever. I don't gotta say their name, but the shit. I'm not one of these people with, like, customer services, or whatever. But like being like 4 months late and then never contacting me, I'm like, man, never again. And then like the plastics come and they're fucking faded and it faded in 3 weeks, man. So now I'm ordering some new plastics that are not like, because then in their defense, anything that's neon always kind of fades. Because the pigment, but so I just got them some straight up red all the way through and through, straight red mold, not no dyed shit, because they faded. Right. They faded and later, so the bikes are like pink, white, and all this other shit. But yeah, so this is the DR. My buddy was telling me he was like, dude, just get this bike, man, because you're gonna be doing a lot of maintenance on the 50s, and I'm already kind of getting tired of it.
Yeah.
They even look cool, so I can do a lot. I'm pretty sure I can do a lot of stuff with those, and I still keep the 50s around. You know what I mean? They'll still have them, but yeah, this DRZ.
Or get the XR 50s too, the Hondas.
Yeah. So you got,
that's actually all that is. With the Yamahas, the TT 50s and 90s. Yeah. So the little 4-stroke 50s, those are good money.
Yeah, so and it look dope right here, all raced out right here. The one I'm looking at.
Yeah, a little semi-autos.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get them those, and then after this, they'll get into the shifters. But yeah, I'm gonna probably look at those. They're gonna ride the 50s for now, but yeah, it's for me. I'm just looking at more ride time. I ain't got time to be down because even when they ride them, I keep forgetting they're air cooled and they're not really like mashing it all the time. So then I'll take the bike and actually I'll say wait a minute, and I'll zoom down the beach or whatever to cool it.
Yeah.
And because that shit will start making this pinging noise, I'm like, oh shit, that piston getting hot, and they ain't really moving enough air, so I just don't want to deal with that. Now I don't know if these things are air cooled. The DRZ ones are air cooled or water cooled, but I'll check into it. I don't see no radiator on there. But anyway, yeah, man, let's just get them that and everything, man. But anyway, we were also talking about offline was the Top Gun joint. So so I'm gonna go and plan the trailer right now.
TDCs.
I could even right here is watch this TV is HD TV is not 4K, but just watching this, and I'm not sure what the let me see the quality check on it because this like looks crisp as fuck, man.
Bro, I'm telling you,
that's only 480p I'm watching in.
Bro, now this movie was a deal. When he was fighting for it not to go to stream, he wanted it only in theaters. He did right. And when you're a multimillionaire,
you get it.
Illuminati boy, you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And he did the damn thing, yo.
I know a bunch of nostalgia with the bike right there. So, yeah, man. I gotta check to see if it's out.
This movie was literally bro. It was too cool. This shit was like, my son, before it started, before the credits rolled, he's sitting there on his phone, and I just text him, like, put your phone in your pocket, cuz when the movie started, from start to fucking end, he was sitting on the edge of his seat, leaning forward, like he was in it. I'm like, yes, that's how I felt in '86 when Top Gun first came out. I'm sitting there like, oh, shit, but they did so much, dude. There's so much in this movie with the range
I gotta see the equality. You got the women in there, and then.
Well, yeah.
It's like you can't. It's still Hollywood. Yeah. He did the break move. You can't.
Oh
yeah. I'm already seeing shit.
Admiral, you're gonna see these different, but it was tight. There are people getting. And all of this, this is all real flying. There's DI used in two things they claim. This is part of it, shooting all these missiles. There's only 2 times that they said, and that's another one, because we all know a Su-57 Felon is not flying and it ain't in combat. So there's 2 times that they claim they use CGI. I think I counted like 4. But out of a 2-hour something movie it's pure action in the sky flying the whole movie. That's all real.
I was in the shop yesterday. I was like, let me run upstairs and go on U-turn. But I was like, man, I don't think I want to do that. And I get out of Jimmy Kimmel. But
here's the cool thing about it. You could look at all of the trailers and all of these real, because there's all these real pilots that have their talking points about it. All of that talking that I heard when I went to see it, none of that was spoiler. I thought, oh, I know a little bit. Nope, you don't know shit about it, because the plot is so different from what you think that it is or what it's gonna be, and everybody that's talking about it, even the guys that went to see it, they're talking about shit that's on the trailer. This was funny. I watched this the other day. This was fucking.
Is this a dude that does like the little singing joint?
This is fucking hilarious. I looking at Honda.
Did you know that's what Tommy does? That's what like he does the private joint stuff and everything, man. So.
But that's an actual Honda. That's an actual. But it's funny. The The dude flies for real. He did all the shit. He was right. There is zero way that you could have got those facial expressions and really like they used the footage so cleverly in certain times, people passing out, people really struggling to breathe, and the excitement. There's no overacting. There's no that's fake as fuck. All of this shit is so real. Wait till you see this movie. You're gonna be like, God
Yeah,
damn.
from try to yourself, Tommy, and everybody else is like I haven't heard one person. I haven't seen one person say like, "Ah, that shit was whack." Like when that many people like collectively, it's like that one. It's like that times when like shit happens on YouTube and like the collective of the whole internet's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a
Because
clown."
you cannot be into planes. You
Right.
cannot be into planes at all. Because this isn't like a shoot 'em up movie. You go see somebody get their brains blown all over the place, gory. This ain't that. This is like a holy shit.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, that's
I
crazy.
gotta watch this shit with sound dude running his ass off.
Oh yeah, he started to chase him. Like, where the fuck are you going? Where are you
Yeah.
gonna go? We're in the desert. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
This shit was funny as hell. Tom Cruise got like that charismatic shit,
Yeah.
but it's funny. You'll watch this with sound and you'll be laughing. But it was just you could be in the movies and had you only went like women only went because their husbands like, girl, this is the best fucking shit. I grew up on it, and so
Yeah.
he dragged her to the theater. And she's going because it's Tom Cruise, and there's gonna be these half-naked 20-something-year-old dudes. But then you get there, and it's like, yo, this is fucking crazy. And I guarantee the way that they did this movie, the way that this shit was filmed, all of the plane-to-plane camera work, the chase camera plane they call the Cinejet. So it was a chase cam plane, and all of you see all of this real movement and everything done. The way that they did this, there's going to have to be a copycat. Somebody has to make a movie that's going to involve filming in this way.
Right.
Because
Setting the bar, man.
the way that they film these planes that are going so fast and they're chasing it and filming it, it has to be done again. This can't be a one-off. This cannot be a one-off. It'll be an injustice to anything. This will be an injustice to the industry if this is the only time.
Also, I don't know why I'm shocked, but he got his actual pilot license. Like, okay, like he.
Oh yeah. Man does everything, yo.
Yeah.
He does everything.
It's like fucking Travolta got fighter jets and shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Tom Cruise has planes. He flies everything. That's what's cool about it. It flies everything, rides motorcycles, cars. This guy does everything. So, this is why he's such a humongous, unique thing in Hollywood. So Jackie Chan is the only other person that did things like this. But Jackie Chan was in the era where it was old Hollywood.
Right.
He kept legs. You have to stop this. No more. We can't get our movies insured. This is what phased Jackie Chan out, because there's so many people telling him no and stopping him from doing his own stunts, his own tricks. He always had a broken leg. Now the creative design and the makeup artist had to cover up his cast on his
with
leg.
foot. Yeah, when he broke his foot on the rumble in the Bronx.
He had to wear baggy pants, paint his cast to look like a shoe and some pants. Right? Tom Cruise has made an era where I'm doing my own shit, dog. That's just what it is. You're gonna finance it or you're not, and I'm gonna make it happen. And now you've got him doing all these. Dog, who the fuck in their right mind would allow Tom Cruise to strap himself to the side of an airplane on takeoff? Possible, right? He's hanging onto the side of a fucking C-17 or something.
Yeah.
On take. What? the fuck? You're gonna let your movie star do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we know he's strapped in somewhere on his buckle or something, but he's hanging on. He's on the outside of a plane on takeoff doing this stunt. So it's like things like that. The way that he's moved the movie market, and he's able to do these things, the way he got the whole crew to get into actual active F-18s, um, is remarkable. You know that you can move the mark that much for a film, and then set it all up. You take the Blue Angels and have the Blue Angels be your pilots, and do some of the gnarliest low level flying, gnarliest last minute pull up type shit. And then you capture it all and you put it in a movie, and then you put all these other actors in the back seats and make this flick happen, and then put it all together and make the shit dope. So um yeah, hats off. Amazing fucking movie. It was an old school action movie, like the 80s. The way the plot went, where the shit is hopeless, that shit was raw. So that's all I can say without giving spoilers. Once you see it, we can make a whole spoiler
Yeah.
episode.
We're gonna do another one, man. I gotta. When we get done with here,
Yeah, there are points where it's like, Jesus.
yeah. I mean, again, like just looking at the I think I turned what I did is I turned down the because I didn't want the videos to take too much bandwidth, so I automatically set the Witchcom at like 480, and I forget. But like watching that trailer in 480 on this 1080p TV, like just seeing it, I mean, it crisp as fuck at 480.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
god damn, man, I can only imagine 4K. Like,
Dude,
that's crazy.
watching that with a good surround sound,
Yeah.
that's gonna give you a gnarly experience, because all of the creaking and the sounds of the inside, like, you know, when you're in a race car
Yeah.
and you go over rumble strips of curbs and you're hearing you're hearing cage jostle, you're hearing harnesses, dude, like those sounds inside those planes, you can only get that from it being put under stress, under flex, you know, being motions. And that was some dope shit, dude. Like you'll see, because it's all in the trailers, so you'll see when they're doing these high G pulls and you're seeing the air break off into vapor over the it, you can see the wings flexing and go. You see the frame being put under stress. They were wilding them planes out, dude. It was great.
Yeah, man. I don't know if the NDA has an expiration date, but if it does, one of my customers was a flyer in this movie, dude. So it's pretty fucking cool, dude. And you know, to have fighter pilot and pilot friends. I got a lot of them, man, and like, you know, to kind of vicariously live through those guys, and they're just regular people, man. They went through the gamut of getting a license, which is hard. People don't work military. Of course, it's not easy, but it's a faster track into the seat. But you still got to do your thing. You still got to pass those tests, and
you got to mathematician.
Right.
You got to have eyeballs of an eagle. You still got, you know what I mean? You got to be damn near be an engineer. So yeah, that work.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and then, man. And then to have a fucking fighter pilot, one of my guys, like you say, you know, like my work on a car and everything. That's, you know, it's pretty cool, man. Because those guys, you know, they flying those fucking instruments of death, and they're very critical of like, hey man, the rudder ain't feeling right, or this hydraulic is fucked, or that's their life on the line. So to have a guy be like, dude, love the car and then want to upgrade further, it was pretty cool. You know, and then like I say, we had Tommy Soul on, for the guys who didn't see the podcast before. He's a pilot, pro drifter, so a person and bike guy, and someone that all those things require different senses, and someone, I guess, correlated the same and everything, but you got to be very sensitive to feel like, you know, this is off, this is off. A lot of data going through that stick, through the seat of your pants, as they say, because you do feel. I mean, Lex can, I can, everybody else that's advanced, I can feel when the back left right has a bearing out, or the back left or back right brake is dragging, not releasing, stuff like that. We can get in your car and be like, yeah, dude, you need new brakes, calipers, overhaul, because your brakes are dragging. And then people like, dragging, what do you mean? Like, it ain't releasing, motherfucker. Like, it's no shit when you got the one releasing on the right and then the left one is dragging, then your car is going to get pitched one way or the other.
Right. Exactly.
People don't get that when they drive around these things, these hot boy ass cars, thinking they're good, and be like, nah, it ain't.
Nah, it ain't. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know my suspension is a little too soft on one corner, or it feels like that. It's like, is that the suspension or is that the tire?
right.
Or do I have like a bushing out that's allowing some toe to happen? Because you just know that movement. It's a couple things. Let me check it. Boom, bam. Thank you, ma'am. All right, cool. We're back. It was just tire pressure, or yeah, this shock was off. Who adjusted it? I don't know, but it's back to normal now. And it's just shit like that. But yeah, that's all that comes into this, man. And like people that fly, ride bicycles, skateboard, motorcycles, all of that, you get a little bit more of that patch in, that in tune, that okay, I know movement a little bit more. I know how my body I know what my body's feeling,
Right.
basically. I process it better.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah,
we got all that stuff going on. But yeah, I'm just letting this shit run in the back. I won't get a well, I shouldn't get a copyright strike. Don't really care. But I got the little no sound in the video right there, so it shouldn't ping me. But we'll see. Just testing the limits right now. Because actually, this is the second time I got it. I know you see I got like a little ain't nobody pulling here. I got the little when I click on it here, like I got a little animation now and everything. But yeah, man, it's dope to see that, man. And technology is cool. And I knew they were, and they probably like in a time frame since they start shooting, more stuff came available, more technology happened, and they be like, all right, let's put this in there now. And like, shit's only gonna get better every year. So the delay, that was one of the delays, man, that was good. Because what if it would have came out? Would it came out almost 3 years ago?
yeah. 2019 was
Yeah,
when they were
right.
done filming, so they had to film it 17,
And they would have
18.
lost so much money going straight to Netflix.
Oh yeah, a ton. And people wouldn't have appreciated it like
Yeah,
that.
because
They
yep, that honestly, I know that you don't. It was cool that 50 kind of did the same thing on the Force and everything, and made it. It's kind of like old school TV. Every Sunday, this time you're gonna tune in, or
yeah,
whatever. Now we got DVR, so we can watch it back. So that's cool. But still, like on Monday, I'm like, oh shit, the Force came out here. It's Monday.
right.
And a lot of the stuff, like when you can watch a series straight through, you don't get that same. You don't get that same. It doesn't. You don't take it. You don't. What I'm trying to say is you don't take it. You don't value it because it's like I can just click and watch. I can binge the whole thing in one day, and you're not waiting for the
Or
next week.
or you could just be chilling and yeah, you're chilling at home and you're grabbing your phone and you're looking at your phone and updating some shit. Man, when you're in that theater and you don't want to be the one in that dark ass room with this bright ass light coming on in your face, you're sitting there and all the rumblings is grabbing you, dude. You, your eyes are peeled. It's been ages, bro. It's been ages. So just because of COVID, let's just say it's been 3 years guaranteed. But before then, I can't remember a movie I went to see. I think probably Fast and Furious 7 or 8 was the last movie I went to go. Maybe
I
7
don't even.
was,
I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
but it's been very close to a decade since I've set foot in the theater.
I
I've
know
not
for
watched.
sure it was. I think we took the kids to daycare. There was a time before the twins when all the kids were daycare, and we thought we were kind of done, and that wasn't really
Uh-huh.
that wasn't the case. But the all the kids were in daycare, and there was like a weekday, and I was like, shops closed, let's go see something. So we went to go see. I want to say it was that it was a big anime over here. I forgot the name of it, but it was like they started doing too much publicity for it. But yeah, it was an anime
Yeah.
joint. Me and my wife went to go see it, but it was like a long movie, and it was like the movie edition of the anime. So we went and seen that, and she was actually pregnant a little bit after that and shit. But yeah, man. So the last movie I went to go see was probably like 4 years ago, and I think it was like maybe like King Kong or some shit or something like that. I don't know. It was man, but it's like it's showing you like shit's changing, and that was definitely cool in them not to like release that because it would have just been like, all right, cool, I watched it, and then like, all right, on to the next, and then you scroll to the
Yeah, people they'll do it just like that if it comes on Netflix. So
right.
shit.
But it will be. They're saying July, so they're going to get a lot of money in a short amount of time theaters, and then.
Bro, it's looking like 144 is estimated. He already did 45, 48
Right.
Thursday, Friday. That was actually yesterday. Let me look it up and see what they did box office now. Okay. Let's see what they did box office now. What's estimated? Yep, they moved it, projected over
So
150
did
now.
he actually fly the F-18s and everything?
No,
Okay.
you cannot get no clearance.
Right.
They will not. You can get in them.
Right.
They will
Oh,
not allow.
15s or 18s?
Those are 18s.
18s. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
The multi-role
It's like,
fighters.
oh, you cool, man, but you can't drive
Yeah,
this.
they like cool. We love it.
Yeah.
Glass in that back seat, pimping.
Yeah. Oh, they had him in the back seat.
They're all back
Trainers,
seat.
yeah.
They made them look as if they were front seated though.
Mm.
So yeah, it was really cool. Bro, they're getting money. They got 19.3 million on Thursday.
Fuck, man.
Money
is out there, motherfuckers. Money is out there, man.
Look, they got 51.8 million Friday.
Shit.
Well, that included their 19 million from Thursday. So by Friday, it was 58 point.
Everyone out again, so we got 30. Yeah, I'm back, man. I'm gonna do something about that and everything. You back at it?
So yeah, the only thing that they can change, because they had 11 days with the planes, the only thing that they could possibly change is anything that had to do with outside of the planes,
Right.
other things. So yeah, they got it knocked out the park with all of the flying that they did, and other than that, shit did work. So I'm wondering, because I know they did not crash none of these planes, but
Right.
shoot some down. So I'm figuring that they probably crashed some propeller plane and overlaid it F-18 over it.
No doubt. Yeah,
That's what
that's too much, man. Ain't no fucking 1978 Pinto.
fucking
Nah,
crash
son.
a multi-billion-dollar plane.
Yeah.
So those are the CGI parts. And
like Star Wars and shit right there.
Yeah. Oh man, you're gonna see a scene. Wait until you see this shit. So you remember Ed 260? Wasn't that robot for RoboCop?
Yeah.
The Ed 260. There's a part. There's a scene. There's some shit going on. There's something you're gonna be reminded of that robot. You're gonna be, when you see what it is, because it's not a robot, because obviously this isn't a sci-fi. But when you see,
dope right there, dude.
Yeah.
That big ass plane flying over the hair like that, man.
Yeah.
People don't realize how they look, because you see them from so far away. But when you get up on them, man,
and they're so fucking big.
Yeah, like I remember the first time I worked on I did the GPS pods on the F-15. Man, that shit was, because F-16 is like one engine, so it's like you just get used to going under the thing. And F-15 got fucking two, and it like pisses out fuel, hot fuel. Like it's like, and there's a lot more sharp parts. Like, so when he did that, it's like, yeah, it's 2 intakes on this motherfucker, man, not 1, 2 intakes, 2 everything, and then it's tall as fuck too. Like it's tall. Yeah, it's tall. Like yeah. So like the F-16 is like a fucking low ass. It look like a low rider compared to that, because stations are right there. On F-15s, we had to like normally we pick them up the pods. And we about this high, you load it, slide it onto the rail, and lock it in. Fucking F-15s, you're like this.
You up high.
Yeah, over your head, and you gotta slide it on your tippy toes and shit. I'm like, man, that shit was like it was cool experience and everything. But like being around them that close, man, and then like seeing how big the intakes are, and then working with the Navy cats and everything, it's pretty cool, man. So and that was one thing too. Guys out there watching and listening, I was Air Force 6 years. I was a truck driver. Well, I was a vehicle specialist, so I drove anything with wheels, tractor trailers, all that stuff. And so I worked around the jets a bunch, but I'm not a flyer. But we're around them all the time, man. So you get like used to seeing them and everything, and you get kind of like, all right, whatever, it's an airplane. But I didn't know until I got older that I thought Top Gun was Air Force because I didn't know. I thought Air Force only had planes. And then I got like, oh, that's Navy, and then I didn't correlate the boat, the ships and shit. So yeah, man, Air Force is, Air Force Army got more helicopters and Ospreys and shit like that. The Marines, they don't really got, they got Marines got.
Well, you know what? Back in the day, there used to be different planes, right, for different things.
Right.
You're never gonna see an F-16 naval outfitted. You might, for some random reason, but you're never really gonna see those naval outfitted. They're ground operated planes. And F-15 as well. F-15 ain't landing on no boat, but you got the F-18, the F-14, the F-4 Phantom did as well. That was Marines and everything in Air Force. But yeah, there used to be like only specific planes for specific class of the branch or whatever. But now it's just like multi-role. F-18 is F-18 is everywhere. Navy, Air Force, Marines, shit like that. Air Force kind of stuff. But yeah, it's kind of all.
And real quick on that, man, because I never thought about that. You said like because they're ground witchcom, so pretty much I would guess the F-18 is more stronger because they got to catch their cable and shit, and the F-16 probably get ripped in half.
Oh, hey, pull up right now.
Yeah.
Pull up a video on YouTube. Say Air Force landing versus Navy landing. You're about to die laughing. You're gonna see exactly the difference. In the planes, you're gonna see the difference in the planes. Okay.
This one.
Is there another video? Go down. Is there bigger full frame?
God damn it.
No.
Which come on a carrier?
Oh, that's clickbait as fuck. Go up to that little F-16 landing. Up to the top. The top. Yep. All right, now click on that and watch that. Now they land like this.
It's like a little
short.
Yeah.
Damn. Let me see if I can find it. So the funny thing is, just put Air Force versus Navy landing or something like that.
Sure. Air Force versus. It's like a game.
So the planes are definitely built different. And they suit their own needs or whatever. Let's see, those are shorts. Damn it. I need to find it because it's funny, but anyway, Navy officers slam their planes into the ground because you have to get it on the ground and
damn, yeah, it's right. You say that, no, they get like slammed with it,
yeah, you have to get it on the ground and trip that wire.
You gotta hook the.
They go, and they go full throttle as soon as they feel that bam, that impact. You're going full throttle, and because if it don't work, you get that fucker back in the sky. Air Force, you got 6,000 foot of runway, and go do your thing. You just glide that thing, touchdown. This is a short, but this is actually they got it consolidated in it. But yeah, you got a nice gentle touchdown versus a slam to the damn ground. So nice little gentle,
like nice petite,
nice touches.
Yeah.
Nice. If you were flying Delta, that was your pilot. You're happy. Now imagine you being this you.
God damn.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, he's like
the fucking elevators is flapping and shit. That thing slammed the ground. But yeah,
shit.
If you do that on one of those planes, the suspension and shit'll break, and that plane will be skidding across its belly on the ground. But F-18s, they're built. This is how strong they are. Boom. That's how Tomcats are. That's how F-4 Phantoms are. That's all those Navy planes. Those Navy planes can be thrown at the ground.
Yeah.
And it's just a difference in plane. You'll notice there's planes that are so tall. like an A10 Warthog, things like that. They'll land on anything. It doesn't matter rain. It's just we're gonna land on anything, and we're gonna protect our armament, whatever fuel, ladders, and armament, bombs, missiles. It's high enough. Everything is super high.
Right. That makes sense why they got that thing was so tall, man.
Yeah, the F-15. It's if we gotta land that fucker in the middle of the desert for a quick code, for whatever reason, it's gonna do it, and it has its bladder, its external tanks right up under between the engines and the inlets. That shit's really low, so it's got to be a tall ass boy. So yeah, those planes it's big differences. Yeah, those are SUVs. Those are fucking F-150s, and then you got the F-16s, little sport cars. The F-35s, the F-32, or the the F-22 and everything. Those are like inboard stealth planes, so they could be really low to the ground when they're on their landing gear. Yeah, the shit's crazy, dude. It's crazy when you look at shit like that. But yeah, naval pilots is like, I'm on the ground, B. And when I'm on the ground, I'm hitting the brakes. That thing's coming.
My bad. That was the event down in actually for the driver pictures and all that shit. So.
Oh yeah. There's events. It's real funny. A couple of people have been asking me to come to events and in my car and shit on flyers. I'm like, don't do that. Like the event that I'm doing tomorrow, they're all about telling people what notable drivers will be there. But I'm like, if I was doing an event and I just wanted seat time, I absolutely could care less who was going to be there as far as notable drivers, because my interest is seat time, and so when dudes are on the flyers or asking me for a photo of my car or something to put on the flyer, I'd be like, shit. It's one of those modest moments where it's like, damn, I don't know which one I want to give you, because I don't know what what you want to do with it or how big the spot's gonna be.
Yeah, it's just dope, man. But yeah, so actually, fuck that. I was expecting like this last week, but I messaged the guy and asked him the other day if there's any more information. So I guess this is a HP of like the marketing and everything. So they just getting on. I knew it was gonna come, so I gotta jam on a car and get that going in between customer shit. So there's gonna be some late. There's always late nights and everything, but I gotta get the shit really ready. See which car I'm gonna use first.
Right.
All that stuff, man. 'Cause it's gonna be between the S13 and S14, whichever one acts the best out of those.
Right. That's
it's like the one that requires the least amount of work, because the other one is, I don't know. I hope it's not a I hope it's not a cam issue, but it's just having this weird issue. So I gotta pull it back apart and check the clearance and everything. It was that one in that one joint actually, because I never had it happen. And ironically, LZ, I was watching this shit. They were having a similar issue, which I was like, oh shit, it's almost the same thing where it would intermittently get full boost and then it wouldn't. They never had it happen, but the bucket, when you put it back together, I generally never take it apart, and it's a shim inside of it. And what happens when you put that bucket down, sometimes if it don't slam straight down, the shim could be sitting like off to the side and then is slightly raised up. And that could possibly be the issue I'm having, so hopefully I'm not, because it gets full boost and then it breaks up, and then I'm like, fuel's there, everything's there, so I just gotta check. And also that shit ain't run for a while, so the injectors probably are I probably need to change those out anyway. I should have, but anyway, I'll run through that and see which one I'm gonna use and everything. But yeah, it's the event coming up, and it's Oikibuki. It's like by Osaka, and it was an invitation only event, so it's like 47 drivers, and there's two classes. There's one where you drive by yourself, and then there's one where what's up?
Tanso or whatever.
Yeah, so then you do so it's for the guys that they don't want to really do tandem, but I was like, nah, tandem, I don't care who I go against, win, lose, or draw. But so I got in the world class, so it's pretty much going to be, pretty sure Daigo Nakamura, all this the same people you see, but it's also targeting a different group of guys who like, you know what I mean. I'm one, like, competing is cool, but it's like that event will get more eyes because it's brand new, it's fresh, and it's not a redundant competition over and over. So I'm just not really. FD is cool, and that's where I'm actually going towards. So like D1 in a nutshell is like dying because it's like you guys are not changing, you're not getting with the times. You just got with live streaming, and you know, they just stopped selling DVDs, like, you know, stuff like that. But it's like now it's lost its luster, man, and everybody's kind of moved on from there. So FD USA is pretty much premier. And then FD Japan is like coming up, and then like the Europe stuff and NZ, so it's up there, man.
That's cool, but it's weird.
Yeah.
How is an American-based thing the premiere of a Japanese thing?
Yeah. But then, well, if you look at it, then like if you talk to any of the Swedes, it was like, yeah, we've been doing this shit for years. We just didn't have a name for it. And
right.
But I'm like, still, you weren't doing like that. You weren't doing like it wasn't tandem, like there wasn't a wide open space with.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but with a car that costs a couple of $1,000s, these are fucking $100,000 rigs, $200,000 rigs now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a difference in, like, you know, on a spectrum, these FD cars cost a lot more than like now the D1 cars now. But it's just getting. You know, like, I guess we're going to have one day. I want to talk some about that, how you see it going, man. It's getting where skill is no longer it. Skill is not longer only it anymore. It's a lot of different factors now to get on that podium now, man. You know what I mean? Outside of this pure luck.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so weird. Yeah, you've got to have that bread.
Yeah.
Got to have a machine behind you. And in machine, I mean like a solid pit crew,
right.
Solid social media, solid media package. That's the machine, you know. And you got to have that bread, literally, to get there, to have the testing, to operate your pro car every time you drive, type shit, right? Like, practice on it. Endless wet weather shit. Like, the coolest thing was Dylan Hughes and Travis Reeder saying, man, fuck this weather timeout.
Yeah, and they went. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Yeah, that was dope.
All it. We do this shit, man. Yeah. In the wet, I'm so happy Dylan got on the podium. Like, this was not what people expected. This was not who people expected. It's the oddest circumstances of weather and everything else, and we got new blood, a new face on the podium.
Yeah.
Shit was cool as hell, man. It was great to see. It was now everybody can kind of get off of the FD's rigged type shit. Because, well, I'm pretty sure somebody will try to state a case or make a case as to how Dylan got podium, but it's whatever, right? Driving is the paramount. Driving is the coolest thing. Like, what was the last FD Japan round where it kind of looked like a multi-structure parking garage that they drove? It was
that's where we're gonna drive. That one, that wasn't the
you go it and then around into the lower.
Yeah, that's a parking lot. There's no shit.
Yeah.
That's a park. That's where I'm gonna be. That's the event I'm gonna be down there. So that wasn't the last FD was I think Suzuka or something like that, or Fuji.
Well, where's the place where Daigo crashed?
Yeah.
Oh, so wait, what the dude? This one dude put a fucking said stop saying Hakosuka or Hakosuka or however Americans say it. It's Hakosokusu or something. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's so close to what people really say.
Yeah.
In Hakosoku.
Yeah.
I forgot how
that shit Hakosuka. I don't know fuck.
Hakosuka, yeah. But it was where Daigo backed that one UZ powered one. Yeah. And he just barely grazed it. But it's just the driving is getting so crazy, dude. Whereas you can see a car physically going in one direction, and then when they drop the clutch, there's so much grip and torque that the car does not look like it should physically move like that.
Right.
So I got tagged, I got sent that so many times, and I'm like,
There it goes.
damn, drifting is getting to the masses in a point that they're sharing it to a drifter. Like regular people are sharing that shit to a drifter that has seen it. They should know we've seen it before. They should know I've seen this shit before.
There you go.
But they're sharing it to me. Yep. But they're sharing it to me because they're so like.
It's changing the. It's changing the. Yeah, so this is the the joint right there. So what they do, the one, so they were showing they coming down. See what those cones are. So they were coming down at where they were jumping. Yeah, they were coming down. So it's a multiple parts, but like the actual what you were saying was a different joint where they come down. It's the entrance to goddamn ski resort. So they're not drifting.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, they're not drifting. So this is the going into the parking lot. So they drifting into like a So it's like no shit of like a makeshift. They just turned it into a joint. So that owner was like, "Yeah, give me the money."
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're looking for
right there. So that
has enough of a pool that they found it valuable to say, "Yeah, go ahead, run an event on my shit, skid up my damn parking lot." Yeah. You know, that's hard, dude. That's so dope to me. But yeah, drifting's hitting the masses in a way that people are sending it to people. Because it's caught their eye. It's bent their mind so much where they're like, whoa, how does a car move like that?
Right.
I'm like, nothing but grip and a stitch welded chassis, my boy. You know. But yeah, and it's weird that a Premier Series has dropped the ball and another series has become the Premier Series.
And like I said, you're looking at it's getting to the point now when you can't, like, you see the Supra, you're not just rocking up with an S13 like I got with an RB26, and it is not it anymore. Like, you gotta have.
Look at that power and grip, dude.
Yeah, because I mean, my shit, it'll make my car that's way powerful than a regular car. It's like, you need another 600 horsepower.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. And you see, Nakamura has a turbo V8 now.
Yeah. Was it supercharged?
It's turbo.
Oh yeah.
So it's like. So 800 horsepower JZ, 900 horsepower JZ, 1200 horsepower JZ, that's not enough. Now you need 12 to 1300 horsepower and torque. And how Nakamura drives, that motor's gonna go to pieces. But
he already broke the other one, like in practice.
He's gonna drive it with the foot through the floor, and whatever setup that they make happen on that thing, it better grip the gods, because if that RPM just runs loose, you're gonna find that LS does not like hitting a limiter with boost like a SR does.
Yeah.
Look at that. That shit hiked the wheel up. It's, man, I'm telling you, it's like, you know, I tell people like, yo, the bike shit is just, hold on, I'm just doing it because I love it. This is great. But when I get back to the car, like, this car shit is so fucking mesmerizing, dude.
FD.
Look at that shit, dude. Look how, which is generally, these are stiff cars, you would think, but
like
there's so
and that's right here, like, see the gap between the front and rear, like a lot of people.
Yeah. So much force is jacking that car up because it's pushing forward as hard as it possibly can.
Well, they picked that up from FD.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started watching. Kumakubo seen that, came back, and when he went over there last time, that was when they kind of doing they were, I guess it was a little fad of like doing the tripod on the flat ground, and then they came back and was like, he was like, dude, these machines are better than ours now. And then they started like, they look just like JR kind of when they kind of let off and it kind of does the little flop. Yeah.
Yep. I saw him in 2015. I went on top of Irwindale up there chilling. I was literally by myself for 2 days up there. And it was funny how great minds think alike, because all the spotters are down below in front of the booths. I'm up on this hot fucking aluminum roof with the sun beating me from up here and beating me from the reflections, but that's the best place to watch Irwindale drifting.
Mm.
I'm up there taking notes, timing. I've got a clear shot of the whole track. I'm not distracted by anybody standing up, no umbrellas blocking the sun, nothing. So I'm really trooping it out, getting my data, getting my information, everything, videos to show Justin and shit like that. And I hear somebody coming up the stairs. It's Kumakubo. He's got the same idea. He wanted to see the drifting unobstructed, full visual of the whole everything. And dude, this motherfucking car, that TCP Magic car is wild.
Mm. Cool thing, man, is I didn't know, like, he was in the FMX and everything, and I, seen that.
Oh yeah, man.
And he had that, pretty almost fatal injury, and
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Clapped himself out the game and found cars.
And he still rides moto a little bit, but not as crazy as he used to.
Like he was.
Him and Deegan's and everything. But yeah, man, that's just to see that reinvent stuff and everything. And that's why, like, now people like, man, why you got into bikes? Like, bro, you look at my thing I posted, man, those 200 subscribers actually came from bike shit. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my channel. It ain't getting like max views. It's just a new audience and everything. And the same thing with Rally. Like, when I start posting Rally stuff, I'll get some of those guys in there. And
but you know what's so cool? I love about it, dude, is I get guys, motorcycle guys, coming to my channel for the R1 and everything, and they're like, bro, I've been watching your content, waiting for updates on the R1 and shit, but I've jumped over to your car shit. God damn. You're like, bro, you fucking will, man. Yeah. So they get opened up to the car shit. Then the car dudes have been on the channel watching all the car shit. Then I'm doing the bike shit, and they're like, God damn, that shit looks sketchy. It looks scary. I don't know how you do that shit. I'm staying in the cars. Ooh. But that's an accident I would hate to have be in. But the car dudes are looking at the bike shit, open their world up to bikes. Then they're asking me about bikes, and then hey, I'm about to get my first bike. You don't know how many DMs I get of dudes sending me pictures of their first bike. They just bought bike, and then vice versa. The bike dude's like, yo, so what you're saying is true. Yeah, bro, if you are a good rider and you feel those little movements and correct them while you're hitting back roads, when you get into the car, you're going to feel the same thing, but it's more of a movement because it's a bigger thing. It's a bigger chassis. You got 4 points of pressure. You feel the front right move. You feel the rear left move. You feel the rear right move. You feel all these individual things. The pitch changes. Damn, he wrapped it around that joint. Yeah. But so it's like, yeah, so you could be an awesome driver if you just go ahead and do it. So I like getting that cross mixture of the bike dudes to cars, the car dudes to bikes, but still love the shit that you're in, the shit that you're on. Like, stay fucking with that. Don't ever stop doing that, but just experience the other things. And that's what's been really cool to me, aside from everybody that has kids that are hyped waiting for their kids to get older to do that shit. Yeah. Or, bro, that's how I want to be. Yo, I'm inspired, And I tell them, like, but you know how fatherhood goes. So yeah, you're gonna have to do all the other, like, my day-to-day fatherhood with my son. It's not all this all the time. Did you do your homework? Did you do your chores? It's all of that shit. But because all of that's done, then we get up over here and we do this shit, Yeah,
man, it's definitely the move, man. But hey, man, it's I'm gonna try to cut this one, man, because I'm actually speaking on that. It's like one here, and I told them I'm gonna come back and ride their bikes, and I said if it's not raining, I'm gonna let them ride it and everything. So I'm gonna load these bikes up in there.
Ace Combat 7 has a Top Gun Maverick DLC with a new trailer. Yeah. And they've gotten inspired. They want to make a new game by 2025. I'm telling you, this movie is moving aircraft like that aviation shit. But yeah, hell yeah, I got to get ready for the track day tomorrow. Probably load a car up on the trailer, unload the other one, and get busy. So yeah, we'll do some shit. That is so funny, Ace Combat.
Yeah.
there jumping on it.
But yeah, man, it's you know, just saying the numbers and stuff like that and different things and everything, man. It's like one of those things, man, where it's just, man, I got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes and making stuff happen, man, and just how business is going. It's finally, the Corona stuff is kind of catching up with everything and parts, waiting on parts and everything. But still, man, there's just so many opportunities out there to make shit happen out there. There's so many people to sit back and they just bitch about stuff and this, and this. I ain't got that. Like, look what you do got, man. Look what the people you do know, the resources you do got. Put those motherfuckers to work, man, and make it happen versus trying to add on some new networks or whatever, new car, new whatever. Like, get the cars you got running first. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of been at, man. It's like I've been really like I haven't bought a new car, like another car in a while because I'm just getting rid of shit, like, you know, to fund other stuff or to pay the bills, pay the rent. Because you keep buying shit, you're just going to be spending. Like, you don't have the money to fix them all, so why you keep buying all this shit? So I just been selling, like, I had cool plans for a good amount of the cars I sold, but, you know what I mean, they were like 3 years away. The Cappuccino's still sitting. I got to get that done. So it's like, yeah, man, just doing that and doing that. This event coming up, like I say, the videos you guys been watching, and I don't know how to say Okuibuki, whatever. I'm going to be there. That's going to be August 6th. So I got to get they just sent me a message and asked me my stuff, and I got to get the car ready that I'm going to have because you got to declare the car or whatever. And then they're going to do their press stuff. I mean, if you bring another car, whatever, but they still got to have something on there. And I got to get one of the two cars ready, see if I can get a layout, and then go replicate that at MSP so I can get the motions and then go out there.
Dude, I want to get out there and drive MSP bad.
For sure, man. Like I say, June 1 is back open. So I mean, any time after that, man, it's you know what I mean, I got the cars. All you gotta do is show up, man. So that's it.
Yeah. We'll I work on getting out there, man, because I want to drive that bad.
Oh yes, it flows, man. It flows nice, and it, you know, then it is if you're there by yourself, you can mix it up and chop it up however you want to do it. So I've been there 15 years, and I just find like new lines and shit to run on the track because it's like nobody really thought about that before, and it's like, you know, they were like, oh man, I didn't know you could, like, the track owner was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, this is your track.
Yeah.
And you never thought about it, but it's, you know, it's like you just see it and you can do it. And the cool thing, once you get those skills to a certain level, it's just like whatever you can do, whatever the mind imagines and shit. You just kind of flow with it and make it happen, man. Thread the needle, and like I could fit two cars in between this one little opening in the midfield. And then which you probably, I'm not sure if you've seen a dude. He's put a video up. He built a mini Supercross course within the track. And
oh, really?
And that was a joke, and I was just joking about it. Then like 2 weeks later, he's like, "All right, dirt's here." I was like, "Oh shit!" So the dude made
you gotta order dirt.
Yeah, so he pretty much made a Supercross course within a track. So that'll be another cool thing. And then now I'm riding bikes and everything. So, and the thing is, like, that came from me. He's a super motocross pro rider, former factory Suzuki rider, but he never thought about merging the two, and it would happen to come from a conversation between me and him, and that, you know, that's an older dude with a track owner, and, you know, so people, influence goes both ways, man. It's not age limited, it's just ideas, and that's all it comes down to, man.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, man. But like I say, everybody out there know where everybody. I mean, if you watch the podcast, you already know who Lex is. So, you know what I mean. But for the guys who knew, again, Lex, you know, he's a I don't say he's not a guest anymore. He's just an honorary co-host. You know, so obviously like a guest co-host or whatever, man. But he's always on. Of course, as you know, that we've seen the videos. KOE Family, check him out there. Look down in the description, and then on Instagram, it's gonna be Lex_King_24. You can check him out there for all the good social media stuff, man. So again, we'll be back, and just kind of it was a hiatus for a while because I was just. Man, it's like I had to, you know, even like Sunday, I just had to like throttle back because I'm like, I could be working right now, but I got to go get those boys out there. It's sunny outside, and take them out there and ride and get those. You know, it's nice to see them, man, like naturally standing. They standing up, they like putting their leg out, which I kind of want to actually train them to not. That's like motocross is getting back to that because dudes are going so fast now. that if they catch their leg, they getting hyperextended knees
It's
now.
broken. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and it's
yeah, I like the. I've been noticing that they've been keeping their feet up on that
on
shit.
the pegs. Even when they carve hard, they just like squeeze that bitch hard or tuck your shit in, because the dude played slow motion and like his leg was out there by the fender and it looked cool as fuck, but you could just see if that shit catches something hard, that motherfucker is like this, like it was jiggling, around and shit, and like everybody was like in that bitch like my knee hurts just by looking at it. Like fuck.
Yeah, dude. You catch that one dude.
There was a lot of ACL tears and rips. And
did I send you that video where that dude was playing around and he was coming in? It was like rainy, muddy, and he's coming in shredding a rut, and he was on a mini bike like a 70, and he went and hooked it, and his leg stuck in there, and he and the bike flopped around. It didn't move. It was just like boom, fall, and he went around his leg, and it was like you could physically see the you can see the ACL, MCL, everything tear, right?
Yeah, people get fucked up on those mini bikes more than like regular bikes because they're
on the ground.
Yeah, you don't have no time to react on a 70 versus a 450. You got a little bit, couple more seconds to react, but not much. But yeah, man, I fucking on a PW80, man. I power squat that bitch. Like it popped back so fast, man. I was on my fucking heels touched my ass, man, and my knees not flexible, dude. I was hobbling for 2 weeks off the fucking PW80.
Jeez.
And then I didn't want to do it yet, man. But I started. I think I done my longest wheelie, which is like probably about 20 feet. But yeah, man.
Oh, really?
So I've been fucking with it and everything. So I'm getting used to. I'm using the 110, and it's popping it up, and it's like just right now. I'm just right now. I'm just trying to cover that rear brake, so I can get used to. Hey, man, when shit goes crazy, to cover that brake. Because the first time I did it, my fucking feet came off the bike, and I didn't even think about brakes. I was just looking at the sky and shit on the 125. That shit was like fast as fuck. I was like, this shit
it was funny. I had my boy riding the R3, and I was just like, blood, it's fun. Just ride it around the block. And I brought the Zoom out, and I'm riding the Zoom. So he's mashing the R3 around. He's like, this is kind of hella fun.
Yeah.
He was like, it's way faster than I thought it was going to be. He thought it was going to be putt. And I said, no, it don't putt. It goes. I was like, it goes 100 something miles an hour, right? And he's like, damn, this is hella fun. So then he started trying to wheelie, and he's like, then. And I'm like, you're not going to be able to get it. And he's like, this thing don't wheelie. I was like, it wheelies. He said, no, it don't. He kept trying. Then I was like, you're going to burn my clutch. Like, you don't know how to wheelie it.
Yeah.
And he's like, this thing don't wheelie. I was like, give me the bike. Bent brought that motherfucker back. He's like, hell no. Nah. And I brought it back further because I've been wheeling the shit out the R6 lately. But I brought it back hella far. And so then I'm coming down the hill, and I brought it back again. And I went like straight up and down almost 12 on it. And he's like, how the fuck are you doing? I was like, bruh, it's just a bat, but it only likes it going slow. You can't do it going fast. It doesn't have the power. And he's like, he said, shit. He started bowing down. He's like, now you got it. He was like, if you can wheelie that shit. He was like, you can wheelie shit if you wheelie that. I'm like, yeah, it's super simple. You get it up, and it's so slow. It's so like clumsy compared to like the R6. If I go, with the R6 is up.
Yeah.
If I go, with this, it's like.
So on that. So when you're doing like, say like I got the 110 4-stroke, and it's, it's not like acute power, but it can go. You can pick up the gears. So when you're doing that, when you get it up, is it like are you just holding the throttle a little bit, or just little chucks?
Yep. So at first, until you get like really good, where you give it a handful, and when it comes up, you gave it so much throttle, you can release, and the bike's still coming up. Like that's how Shamar and them all wheelie. They're so used to the power bands on those dirt bikes. They're like, they give it so much. They give it so much that they know the bike is coming up to this point.
Right.
Like the RC, I can give it a fucking gang of throttle. And that bike will come right up to where I want it to be because it's coming up on power, and I'm catching it on the brake at the same time.
Right.
I bring it up and catch it, and then I give it some. So you'll see my wheelies will be like, what? ah, then I slow them down.
Mm.
When I'm not too cautious, or you'll see other people wheelie, it's a chase. You'll get it up, it'll burn, and it's like
And
burn.
then, you so you're like chasing
Yep,
the.
you're
Okay.
chasing it because the nose didn't come up. When I wheelie these and you hear the and it's woof just straight up, and you stay in it.
Mm.
You stay on it until it rolls to that point. When that thing rolls up and you know it's coming up, you see that front come up to the horizon, and you're like, okay, all right, we're good. And then you start rolling out of the throttle and then applying the brake when the bike gets up there. And then you get, see, for me, what I used to have the idle set, I
Mm.
could click throttle off on my hand, but it still had idle at like 4 grand. So you go, ah, and it sounds like you're still on throttle, but you're not. So then you're playing with the brake. So what I do now is I don't raise my throttle. I just hit it and hold it, and then I hold the brake, and I'm doing the same thing. So then when I hold the brake and I get past 12, I ease out of the brake, and then I ease off of the throttle. So
Mm.
then I'm using a little bit of throttle and a little bit of brake at that point. So yeah, you'll get it. It's just a thing you play around with, and once you master it on specific bikes, on your bike, either you're sitting, because dude, you could be sitting a couple inches forward, you need more whop, or you can
Right.
sit a couple inches back and you need less bang. And it's either way, you'll know. You'll be like me, if I'm coming out of a corner on a track and I'm sitting back and I hammer the throttle and that front wheel glides,
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, then I pull myself forward as I'm really rolling into it and getting into tuck.
Mm.
Or I could be up closer on the front, but that's dangerous because when you're closer on the front and you hammer in throttle, that bike will
Yeah,
go
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. And that's what I was. Yeah, I was like, I was in my mind. I'm like, feel like I was choking up on a fucking bike, which I'm 250 whatever pounds on a 110, and then I
And
set,
you're putting up
then
forward.
I set like towards the middle, then the back, and of course in the back, a little
Yeah,
bit slide back a little bit, then it was easier to get up.
right.
But I just was like I said, and then I don't know if I was doing wrong in this. I just was also preloading a little bit, so I would kind of
Mm,
preload it and not like not I wouldn't. I let the fucking motor do the work.
sounds,
Yeah, I was trying to like
yeah,
preload a little, push into the ground, and then like lift up. And I noticed like
yep.
when I lift up a little bit with the clutch dump or pop. I don't know.
Timing, yeah. Mm,
And it came up, so I got up like kind of. I got up the highest I got, then I kind of like let it slam back down, and then I carried it a little bit. Then I got one, like I said, well, I probably exaggerating. It was probably like 10 feet. It felt like
it
20
don't
feet.
matter. Yeah,
But
it don't
I'm just
matter.
trying to get this shit good enough where I can take it into the cement
Yeah.
and then get that video to be the first Baltimore dude to raise up a
So
dirt bike.
work on not clipping the throttle, not going off
Got you.
and slam. Work on when you do that, like have your brake covered and your clutch covered.
Got you.
And just remember, like, when you go up, boom, and instead of cutting and slamming down,
Mm-hmm.
like go up and then roll out a little bit of throttle so that the bike goes boom, boom,
Got
instead
you.
of whop. And because that sense of it going and you feeling it glide,
Right.
it's gonna get you more confident with staying on it,
Got you.
on the bike. And also if you go sideways a little bit, right?
Yeah,
If you
I
go
did. And I was like, yeah,
bike
that's enough
turns
practice for
on you,
the
and when yeah, see, and when
day.
you go up and the bike turns on you or tilts on you,
Mm-hmm.
and you set it down, you're setting it down like this,
Yep.
and you can boom, eat shit.
Almost.
And
Yep.
now it happened like this R3, the tires are so skinny. I clutched that motherfucker up one day. Jalen was there, my wife was
Into
there,
a
and I
parked car, man.
I almost ran into the our truck, but I went up and I went up back and the bike tilted and I said, "Oh shit." Handlebars are straight, and I was like, let me set it down. Instead of me clipping it and just dumping, boom, bam, it would have failed. But
Mm.
because I still had throttle on and I let it ride out, when it landed, it just landed and went into a turn, and I swooped back straight and was like, woo. My wife's like, that's it. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, the
Yeah,
road is
that's
saying
exactly what happened, man. Like what you explained is I was practicing, and I was like, I'll keep going until I'll fucking fall or some shit. And the kids are riding around, so I was actually while they were riding around, I was in the middle of them doing wheelies and shit, and they kept. Then my son kept trying to go like this. I'm like, nah.
How to do it? Yeah.
He kept trying to. Then he's looking at me. I'm like, look what you doing? Because he kept looking at me.
Yeah.
Doing wheelies while he's riding around. So while they were riding in a circle, I was riding back and forth in the middle of them.
Yep.
And yeah, that last one, I picked it up, and I was in the grass, and it when I picked it up, it went like this, and then I kind of like I panicked a little bit, and I dropped it. When I dropped it, it almost slipped, and I put my foot down, and I was like, I kind of twisted my knee a little bit. And I was like, all right, man.
And remember your preload versus your pull. When people, I see them do it all the time, street bikes, they try to pull a wheelie up. They think they're physically pulling the front with the throttle. Because remember, you're twisting the throttle, and guys are pulling like this.
Got you.
Now, sometimes people are pulling, but it's like, think of it as you're doing a deadlift, right? Think of it as you're doing a deadlift and assisting with your shoulders.
Right.
But you did it. This shoulder pulled harder than this shoulder.
Got you.
What's that do to the bike? The bike will go a different direction.
Yep.
So you got to put on your preload like a easy one. When you get your timing, people won't even know that you did it. Is you're going, burn, clip throttle, and then rock back, just your core.
Got you.
You're not even the handlebars. So your clip throttle just compressed your suspension, and then your clutch out, beat.
Right.
But you like this. You didn't pull the bike.
Right.
So you're not influencing the movement in any direction that's not true centered. When you're sitting back and you're like, okay, all right, because new riders do this. You sit back and set up, okay, I'm gonna do a wheelie. And that sitting back, you're straight, you're riding straight, you clip throttle and then clutched it as it went, and the bike is going to go straight. You preloaded it on decel, and then boom, and you went up. When you pull it, you're pulling it in a different direction.
Gotcha.
Now, yeah, when you get good and you just, and you know this movement is, I could do whatever. Pull that shit up, and that clutch up just goes straight up. Then you're going to be doing all kind of whatever you want. But for right now, yeah, just work on keeping your body straight, boom, and when it goes up, it just comes up, and you just get it up, and you just get consistent with getting it up and setting it down smoothly, getting it up and setting it down smoothly. Because, dude, the more you do that, you're going to get to the point where that's going to help you on those jumps.
Yeah.
Because you'll corner, and then it's just like,
yeah, because the top guys, like I just watched today, like the first round of motocross was today. But the top guys, actually, one thing I got to practice actually standing wheelie, because they do the top guys, they'll do a wheelie, put it down, and then right before the jump, and it compresses their shit, and then they hit the jump and just fucking fly. That's way more advanced. But the guy was telling me the other day, he was like, yeah, just wheelie over the first. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, I mean, if the bike goes up into a wheelie, I've gotten good with kind of not freaking out and just riding it out and then letting off and then fall down and I do my thing. But like a lot of the pro guys, they preload with a wheelie to get the bike in there, and then they slam it down, and then it just compresses, and then when they hit it compresses on the face of the jump. So when they jump, it uncompresses, and it's fucking cold. It rockets them over like 2 more jumps and shit. But they're going they're
super fast.
Yeah, they're at 5th gear and you know, 5th gear, and then a clutch dump or kick or whatever. They do that, and it pops up, and it looks smooth as fuck, man. And it just comes down, and yeah, man. Yeah, man. So my guy did tell me. Yeah, my guy did tell me, he was like, stop. He was my trainer, my buddy. He was like, stop trying to He see me trying to muscle the bike in the air. Yeah, he was like, just let it, you know, compress it and let it. Don't, you know. There's one thing I was doing. He called it seat bounce, and I didn't know that's an advanced move. So I kind of kicked myself like this. He was like, yeah, stand up. That's a pro move to do that, and you'll end up doing a fucking cartwheel or some shit like that. It's all springs and so I was like, fuck, man, you got to think about so much shit.
Yeah, you can come out of, like, say you come out of a fucking nice hairpin rut, and then it's a jump right there. So you go into the corner up, and then you come out of that corner, and you sit back on that seat while you're fucking end, and now that just preloaded your rear, and then as you went up the face of the joint, you preloaded your front, and then you come up off of it and everything burnt.
Yeah, that shit.
So
that
shit is
that was
fun.
how I felt my first air fall was that, and then like you turn the I realized like when the guys are going, when they off the air, they turn the wheel hard as fuck, and that makes the bike like
the gyro
change direction with how you're leaning. So I came up that one, I was just off. I came off with a bunch of throttle, like you should be. But when I got in the air, I sat down and then stood up at the wrong time, and it just sprang the fucking bike and then I turned. So I was in the air like this, going sideways. I'm like, oh, I'm falling, man. I don't know what to fucking do. So I just ate it. And he's like, yeah, don't do that, man. The bike is gonna do whatever. Your setup is how you're gonna end up in the fucking air. So if your setup is all wrong, then you're gonna be off, man. But
and once you get great and you start really getting air, you're gonna learn how to roll it back, how to pitch the nose down.
I ain't on that
all the shit.
yet.
So.
But, all right, man. We the last. It's supposed to be a sign out in the last fucking. Yeah, there's been a Wheelie session and everything, but cool. We're getting out there. Thanks for tuning in. It's gonna be Lex signing off from Richmond, California. Not I say Richmond. I was about to say VA almost, like CA not VA and everything. It's gonna be done signing off from Pinku Style Podcast and everything. It's really kind of toasty in here right now. It's summertime.
It is,
yeah.
Yep.
So, but all right, man. Again, thank you again, Lex, and then guys, there again, be sure to send the questions or whatever to podcastpinkustar.com. Drop your links and questions in the discussion down below, and to subscribe to my channel, KOE Family, and make it happen that way. So it's gonna be dying sign out. Pinku Style Podcast. See you guys later. Peace.